I just wanted to also make another video. And believe me, this comes from a place of anxiety in me because it creates such a mental sickness, that these people would do what they did. I want to make very clear that my decision to better my life is not an act of defiance, meaning because I understand that these people are hindering my path. And for me taking the stance that I am, basically saying, because they caused me all these problems, and me, taking a stand and saying, I don't want those people, I'm purging them, that is not an act of defiance, okay? What it is that, I realize just how I believe their act is selfish. I do. I do believe they acted on selfish motives, because first of all, if a person wants to get involved in your life, they will offer assistance in a way that's formal, meaning they'll call up and say, hey, what are you doing? What do you need or whatever. I've never asked anybody, my sister Tanya, to involve herself, okay? So, and the behavior that other people are exhibiting around me shows that it's a competitive spirit. I'm not interested in competing, okay? And what these people do is they come into my workplace, they cause all kinds of problems, and then when they find out that I'm actually good at my job, they want to sit here and challenge me in another way, and they think it's a game. And I've been trying to let these people know for the longest time, you are causing me problems. You've caused me so much problems, so much pain, until it's escalated into something like this now. And so for anybody to ever think that I'm doing this as an act of defiance is absolutely wrong, okay? I can see the situation for what it is. If I've done nothing wrong, which I haven't done anything wrong, and I'm explaining this to like, for example, Piggy. Piggy's known that I usually don't talk about work, okay? But since all of this happened, being harassed and the gang stalking and all of this, I had to finally talk about what was bothering me. So of course I'm sitting here, foolishly talking to him, the main perp, here, talking to him about the stuff. Okay, I'm sure as I'm talking to this man, he has to know, oh my God, like, I really, like, she's right. Like, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything at all. And it's these people who, for whatever reason, feel like they need to come into my workplace and then contact, the managers and say, oh, well, don't give her a reference when I've done everything right. And they're the ones who are causing up all these social issues in my work, talking about, well, wait till she, bringing up religion and all this other shit. So when you've stated your case over and over again, when you've made videos, I have over 300 videos. I've alerted my family. I've told them the financial problems that I've experienced, okay? And it went completely unnoticed. Nobody cared, okay? They knew that I was going through all this. And if they knew that Piggy was screwing his mom, and I was in a very awkward situation, and obviously they knew that I wanted to leave. Why would they were obstructing my path. So these people have done nothing for me. So it is not about me being defiant. It's about these people and their insecurity. It's about their insecurity and their desire. I never asked these people to come into my life. Okay. And like I said, if they were really trying to sincerely be helpful, they would have never done this behind the scenes. Okay, these people start off as stalkers. Why? Because they want to snoop. They want to see, they're playing a competitive game. Oh, is our little sister doing well? And if she is, I don't want her to be better than me, and this kind of bullshit. And that's really where the whole thing is. That's the main motivating factor. It's the one-up game, okay, is basically what it is. I have never had an interest in playing the one-up game. I don't care. I don't care what Lisa has. I don't care what Tanya has. I don't care if Tanya has her master's. I don't care. My sister Tanya has her master's degree, and she believes that, and I'm assuming that she believes that I'm supposed to have one too. Okay, and nobody has ever suggested that to me, other than these little subliminal messages that keep coming up through other people, being messages being relayed through her. Like, for example, I'll start a job, and I mentioned this a while ago. I'll start a job, and I'll be at the job for like maybe a year or something, and then all of a sudden, they'll mention that, and it's like, why? I'm obviously doing my job to satisfaction. I haven't done anything to where you would make me think that I need it. So it's basically somebody feeling insecure, wanting me to be like them or emulate them, and it's not necessary. Now, if I want to, I understand that, and I've since seen some ads too, right, lately, because these people are baiting me, for basically entry level positions, asking for like shit like a bachelor's degree when that's never happened before. The thing is, just because a person doesn't have a 4-year degree, if they have been in their field, you still cannot knock them out of their field. You can't do that. It's against the law. They are still protected. It doesn't matter. And I'm not interested in, I don't believe, I really don't believe in support. The reason why, like I said, the reason why I want to go back and get finish school is because it's required. In order to be a CPA, you have to have that. You can't take the exam without that. Okay, we're talking about licensed professionals here. Okay, you can't overstep that. You have to. But I believe that I'm good for the office now. I don't think I should have to sit here and twiddle my thumbs and say, oh, well, I'm going to have to wait to get all that, because obviously if I'm giving people instructions on how they're supposed to do their job now, then that just shows you that I'm qualified and that I'm somebody who has extraordinary skill, and I should be on the job market for what I want to do now. There are people, and what does that mean from that standpoint? It means that I'm probably very experienced and an expert in my field. That's exactly what that means. Okay? And somebody who is business savvy should be able to recognize that. I don't think I should have to sit here and feel obligated and say, oh, I need to have this. As a matter of fact, I think it stands out. I should be able to stand out without it. Why? Because I'm exceptional. I'm one of those people that should be the first person hired. And when it comes to having a job interview or whatever, I should be stood out as somebody who has very little, but somehow has been able to excel with the very little. And it should stand out as something impressive if a person is looking at it correctly. Now, I don't want to get caught up in people's emotional dramas. I'm sorry, I don't. I never asked for your 2 cents, okay? And that's why I feel a strong sense of resentment. It's not important to me. It isn't. I've seen this all the time. I don't want to debate it, and I'm not putting down people who have their degrees. I'm just saying and I could sit here and tell you why people like their degrees, because they feel like it gives them a sense of prestige. It does. That's exactly why they feel it that way. That's not to cut it down. It is what it is. Because in this situation, you can see that it's not true. Okay? I don't care. If I've been working in accounting 20 years, and my family could fail to acknowledge the 20 years that I spent in there. Okay? They could try and attempt to say, oh, well, we don't want to give you a reference from the news station. The fact of the matter is, I spent my time in 20 years doing accounting. What else do I need to know? I don't need to know anything else. Okay? I've been using Excel since 1997. This is the bullshit that I'm talking about. And what this is just somebody who's insecure, and I'm tired of dealing with it. Tired of it. That shouldn't have to stop me from making a decent living because of somebody else. There's plenty of people. And that's what bothers me, because when you get these people involved, they confuse the issue. And it's not an act of defiance in any way, shape, or form. These people destroyed my life. My sisters destroyed my life. Okay? My mother sat there, watched it, and I hold her 100% responsible. Why? Because a mother should never be in the middle of her children's issues and allow that sort of animosity to be generated among her children. Fuck you. Period. And that sounds like, oh, that sounds horrible. You know what? It is horrible. It is horrible to have a mother that would do something like that. It really is. It's horrible to come to that realization. It's not. For my own mental well-being, I will purge my own flesh and blood. Why? Because this is ridiculous over an office job. These people act like I'm sitting here rolling in six figures when really the fact of the matter is I have all the knowledge I have right now in me. I could make six figures. For somebody who fully like if a real businessman was to acknowledge me, or business person, I should say, somebody who's very sharp in business would be able to acknowledge my talents and skills and accept me for the way that I am. They would recognize talent if they saw it, okay? But I'm being realistic. My goals are completely realistic, plain and simple. And I shouldn't have to hold myself back anymore. So anyway, and that's where my point is. My point is that some people are saying, well, it's not an act of defiance to reject Piggy, because obviously Piggy has done things that are destructive. He's abusive. That's not an act of defiance, okay? My siblings had no right to do what they did. They're insecure. They're trying to destroy my life. It's not an act of defiance, okay? Believe me, nobody wants to have no family. Nobody in this world wants to walk around with no family, okay? But the thing is that you've messed my life up to a point where I am right now. That I'm in a constant state of worry. I'm in a constant state of fear. I'm in a constant state of depression. And these people saw it. They knew it was going on, and they let it happen. Okay. So no, there is no act of defiance. Okay. Nobody wants to be without a family. Okay. Nobody does. But to me, what these people have done to me is so severe that I cannot look back and I cannot forgive it. So it is not an act of defiance. What it is, it's an act of self-preservation. Wrapping up this video. Have a wonderful night.